Good morning, and welcome to another United Partners for Human Services workshop. My name is Justin Fitzpatrick, and I serve as the Membership and Communications Manager here at United Partners for Human Services. We are joined by our Admin Coordinator, Jamie Lynn Carter, as well as our Executive Director, Amber R. Tynan. This morning's presentation is VolunteerLEON, Connecting Our Community Through Volunteerism. And today's workshop, we're really focusing on delving into the heart of VolunteerLEON's mission, which is to empower citizens to answer local need through volunteerism and local need as well. Discover how VolunteerLEON will efficiently and effectively match volunteers with opportunities that align with their passions and skills, ensuring maximum impact for both volunteers and the organizations they support. So without further ado, I will introduce you all to Kay Pelt Walker, or welcome Kay Pelt Walker to those of you that know her, the Volunteer Services Coordinator at VolunteerLEON.
Thank you so much, Justin, and thank you all for being here this morning. Good morning to you. And today, as Justin stated, I want to introduce you to VolunteerLEON and what we can provide your organization. Okay, why isn't it moving? Hold on. All right. So started in 1992 by Leon County Board of County Commissioners, VolunteerLEON is the volunteer services arm of Leon County government. In this capacity, as a volunteer center, we bring people and community organizations together through a range of programs and services based on needs, demographic area, and other factors. With our goal statement, Leon County supports interconnected neighborhoods and families answering needs through volunteer service. And with this, we want to basically get you connected with volunteers who will be able to assist you with your volunteer need. Why is it not moving? So here are a list of our clients, and as you can see, we have for individuals, we serve children, youth, college students, young professionals, volunteer managers like yourselves, adults, senior citizens, and with our organizations, of course, our county departments, and then community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, private, and the public sector. These are some of the annual events the county hosts where we recruit employee and community volunteers. We also partner with nonprofit agencies to help them recruit for long-term and episodic volunteers through VolunteerLEON, which is our Get Connected website. And of particular interest to many of you as volunteer managers would be our volunteer management training series. We host this 3-day training, typically in the spring of the year, to help support volunteer managers. And we cover the 6 elements of volunteer management, and they are planning a volunteer program, recruiting and placing volunteers, volunteer motivation, orienting and training volunteers, supervising and recognizing volunteers, and evaluating your volunteer program. And so now I'd like to just go over with you our VolunteerLEON Get Connected site. Let's see how it presents, if it will open up. Yes, okay. And this is the site. It's a free service provided by Leon County government that connects citizens and volunteer opportunities. So you as an organization, a nonprofit organization, would post your opportunities on the site and thereby allowing a citizen to find you and be able to register and work for you, either long-term or an episodic event. And so what I'd like to do is just go through some of the things and then show you examples of how some of our organizations who are already using the site are using it. So first of all, as a citizen comes in, they would look, and I typically tell people to come straight to the Volunteer Now button, because when you see this, this will provide you with all of the current volunteer opportunities that are available. And so the citizen can look through and see what opportunities are available. Here with this search engine, they can find things of particular interest. And so one that I'd like to typically promote is Goat House Farm, in which they're actually shown here, the first one, but she has several different opportunities here. So she has a goat nursery assistant, flexible community service hour shifts, morning chores, evening chores, and then a dairy goat project for youth. And so I just wanted to look at her flexible community service hours, because she offers this every day of the week from 8:30 to 6:30. And so she has listed her shifts here. So a volunteer can use the site to just go out and sign up immediately. And they don't have to call her. They just sign up and then go out. And then when they get there, they sign in and sign out when they're done. So this is one way that the site can be used. And then I'd also like to share with you another site. Let me go back. Okay, and so this is another one that I'd like to show you. So this is who we play for. And the reason I like to show you this site is because they actually don't use the Get Connected site for their volunteers to sign up. They actually use a Sign Up Genius, but in this site, so that they can be found, they have placed their link to their Sign Up Genius for the volunteers to actually sign up on another platform. And so this is another way that you can use the site. And like I said, so you're not tied to specifically using the site, but it is a platform that we tout it as our one-stop shop for recruiting volunteers. And that is the way that VolunteerLEON would be able to assist you with locating volunteers. And like I said, through our trainings, then we can train you how to motivate volunteers, find them, recruit them, orient and train them. So I'd like to show you another way. Hold on. So I'll just use this one. And so typically, if you're not necessarily looking for volunteers for a particular thing, you're just looking for that roundhouse of a general volunteer, then they can use this respond button to respond to. But we do suggest that you have your position description laid out so that volunteers know what is expected, and maybe some suggested times for the volunteer shifts that you have. But they can just click this respond button, and when they do that, it will ask them to, if they're already signed up on Get Connected, it will ask them to log in. If they're not, it will ask them for their name, email address, and phone number, which it will then send that to you, so you will be able to reach out to them for volunteer opportunities, and create a database for yourself to contact volunteers who are interested in your program. Additionally, I'd like to show you this events page. So there isn't anything listed here, but typically this is just if you are letting people know what events are available, their dates, times you want people to come out. Typically we, in October when we do our um, uh, fire truck roundup, we also recruit volunteers for that event, but we place it here to let the community know that we're having this event and they can come out. So here, let me see if I can find an event so you can see. Let's see. And actually, we haven't put any of our events on here lately. Let's see. But additionally, the needs, if someone was looking for a need on a particular date, if I show both here, then you'll see typically when you go across, you'll see all Goat House Farm, because like I said, she does have available shifts every day of the week. And so you will see her. And I didn't see any events, but again, the events can be used to list your show your events so that you can, and then you can have people RSVP if they're interested in coming to that event. Okay. And then, so also like to show you just shameless plug about VolunteerLEON. So we do offer an internship program, which is one way we can assist you with recruiting for interns. And we do that through our this Get Connected page. And as you see here, we have our community, our nonprofit partners. We can help to recruit for interns for your agency. And so we have several agencies who have posted their intern positions on the page. Excuse me. And so we do reach out to you through UPHS and let you know that this is available for you to use to recruit interns as well as volunteers. And so with that, I would like to open it up if you have any questions, because I did want to go over, this was the main thing I wanted you all to see, that this is really a robust program that we have. It's free to you to use. And so we really suggest that if you're looking for volunteers, and then we can help you. Okay, I see a question. Mr. Barfield, I believe that is.
Hey, this is Justin Barfield. Because of the nature of a lot of the work that's done, do you guys have a tool to centralize background checks, maybe a clearinghouse, something, even if it's a basic background check process to share with different agencies that post?
Okay, so we don't, VolunteerLEON or Leon County government does their own. However, Galaxy Digital, which is the platform that the Get Connected lies on, they use verified volunteers. And so that's the program that they typically tout, and they do trainings on that. And it's available to use. And as a matter of fact, I think, let me see.
That's called verified volunteer.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Verified
thank you.
volunteers. You're welcome. Anyone else? I can't see any hands.
Ms. K, I have a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
So, can you talk about a little bit about the volunteer training series that VolunteerLEON offers that's open to staff members that can come in and get that training that you spoke on a little bit earlier?
Yes, sir, indeed. Okay. So, yes, like I stated, annually we provide that training. It is a 3-day training. It's typically a Wednesday through Friday. And each day we go over two of the elements of volunteer management. And the draw really for this series is that you get to meet and network with other volunteer managers in the room to see, and we solve problems, different problems. We go through a whole um, creating a position, and how that volunteer position works throughout a different organization, so we can see that process from beginning to end. And so the um, we open that up, we open that up so that volunteer managers like yourself, because a lot of you have come into this and never really engaged with volunteers before, and so we want to give you that foundation. I see a question from Mr. Barfield again.
Is there a reporting platform to run reports on volunteer hours for reporting purposes?
Yes, sir, there is on here. So let me, if you were logged in, let me see. How can let me go here and log in.
I can go dink around later if the tool's there.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
wondering.
it's here. I just wanted
Awesome.
to show you here where you can do your time tracking, your scheduling for you put your needs, events, like I said, and then your time tracking afterwards. So yes, and then you can export that to Excel.
That is glorious and amazing and magical. Thank you. I'm also very excited about volunteering with this goat organization. My word.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
I bet most of us are.
I have a quick second question for you as well, Ms. K.
Yes, sir.
How can organizations get in contact with you to register their organization so that as volunteers or interested interns come into the program and look for whether it be fields that they want to work in or specified or organizations that they want to participate with? How can an organization register themselves to be able to participate?
Yes. Okay. So right here, I'm so glad you asked that question because it slipped my mind after I got into my questions. So to register for this, it is the sign up here. And once you click sign up, it will ask you to sign up either your agency or as an individual. So most agencies, if you are already or somebody has already put your agency on Get Connected, but maybe they've moved on, they didn't leave any passwords or anything like that, not a problem. Because what we will do is you just sign up as an individual, and I will let you know that the questions that you will be asked as an individual and when you sign up an agency actually are questions related to your volunteer service and what you'd like to do, your interest, because the system views that if you are a volunteer manager, then you volunteer yourself. So therefore, you would be able to track your volunteer service as well. And so, like I was saying, once you sign up your agency, we can also connect other managers. You can have, I believe, up to 6 managers on your site to help um, put in or post the events and post the volunteer need. And then, so once the agency itself has been signed up on Get Connected, we will just switch out managers once people leave or whatnot, if there has been. And so each manager will have their own page, their own sign in. We really wouldn't share those sign ins because it's connected to your personal email address and things of that nature. And so, again, talking about the site, when you do sign up your agency, we do suggest that on your page you put pictures, because we know a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so volunteers looking at your site to see what you do and how you do it would be interested to see some of those pictures. So we do suggest that when you do post your needs and your events, add pictures.
Do we have any more wonderful questions for Ms. K?
Yes, sir. Mr. Dan.
Yeah, I've always wanted to ask, and now this is my first opportunity, Kay. I've been appreciating what you guys do all over town. Do you sometimes have to turn people down? For instance, if a Republican Party or Democratic Party wanted to announce an event and request for volunteers, do you have a rule against certain types of organizations or events?
So not necessarily organizations, but so we really wouldn't put like the campaigning on the site, simply because, and that is volunteering and it is public, simply because as the county, we would prefer not to get involved in that particular realm, I guess. But there are definitely other opportunities, other places where those volunteers can be recruited from, if that makes any sense.
Like, for instance, the League of Women Voters and the Supervisor of Elections used to have volunteers get involved that were nonpartisan. In other words, they weren't working for one candidate or one party. The legislature took that right away from the Supervisors of Elections, says that they can't use volunteers anymore. But I'm sure that other groups are doing nonpartisan activities to publicize the, getting more involved in elections, civic participation type stuff. Do you have a rule about that? If
No,
it's not got a political party?
if it doesn't have a political party tie, if it's, let me see how to, if it's, typically we say it like a nonprofit is basically what we want to promote on this particular site. And so we aren't opposed to, for instance, I know now this has been years ago too, but we did used to have the League of Women Voters. They were interested in an intern, a coordinating intern, and we did have them on the site. But that
Okay.
has been years ago. But basically, if it's not tied to something that can be controversial, I guess, then we want to stay away from that. But other than that, we are open to all nonprofits.
Good.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sort of take it on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
They haven't asked you in years then, huh?
They haven't asked in years. Yeah.
Ms. K.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned, non-controversial groups and you're open to all nonprofits. So are you requiring a 501c3 status or some legal documentation as a group, or can it be a grassroots organization?
So typically the 501c is the instrument used, but we do have some grassroots open on here. And I can't remember right now which ones are, yeah, I can't remember, but like Dan said, it is a case by case basis. We do, before we post it, we do our research to check into what the organization is selling, so to speak, and then that determines whether or not we can post. If not, then we discuss further with the person who wanted to post or put in the registration for the agency to find out more information.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Miss
Anyone?
K,
Yes,
is
sir.
there a particular time of year that organizations should, let's say, register themselves, or have you seen hot and cold months, let's say, with interns or volunteers, like in terms of rates, that people come looking for those opportunities?
So I wouldn't necessarily say, because we accept agencies all year round. And so those agencies that are listed here on the site for interns, they accept interns year round. So we're getting those applications in. And however, we do our application process for the interns on the semester. So we do fall, spring, and summer. So therefore, we definitely, if you're looking for that, that's the way we post out for folks who are looking for interns, because that's when the interns are looking for internships, if that makes sense. Mhm. And Mr. Hendrickson, you had your hand up.
Do you then have groups that contact you just one-time events where they may give you a week or two's notice? How much notice do you need?
Yes.
And then do you have to check the group out as still? So we better warn people that it takes a while to get your event scheduled.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness, that's a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Yes, and typically we try to recommend that you give your event at least a month of posting time, that you're posting your event at least a month. Any earlier than that, and folks will apply, and then things will happen. But you always over recruit by, we typically say about 10 to 20%, so that for that attrition of volunteers, you still have the number that you need. However, yes, if you are intending to post for volunteers with us, to recruit for just a one-time event, and we have done that, and we do that, and it's like annual events or events that they figure maybe they may try it annually and then it may not, but definitely we do our due diligence to assist in recruiting volunteers, to help recruit those volunteers for you. Anybody else? Can't see everybody. Yes, sir.
Follow up. Last week, Panera Bread, for instance, on 2 days' notice, said they had a whole bunch of food to give away.
Oh my goodness.
So if we, so we scrambled to try to find truck drivers, volunteers.
Wow.
If an organization's already working with you, could there be something scheduled less than a month in advance?
So here's the thing, and I'm so glad you asked that as well, because if you're already scheduled, then like I said, you already would have, and you have your truck drivers, you've posted that you're looking for truck drivers, and then you already have that list or that database of truck drivers, and they may have a long-term commitment with you. And so, okay, when you come in and you train them, yeah, we may not need you for a week or two, but then, let us know when your availability is, because we may have to send an all call out for events like you just mentioned, when you get that last minute from a partner that's like, we've got this, come get it. So yeah, so definitely I would suggest go ahead and get signed up, and start building your database, because you can recruit your truck driver volunteers, and then you'll have their names and their numbers and their shifts, because I'm sure most volunteers work, and so then you'll know when you can count on them to be able to be available to help you out. Anyone else? Indeed. I saw Mr. Parker come off mute for a minute. Did you have a question? Oh, okay. Any more questions about VolunteerLEON Get Connected? How to get signed up? Our process? any of our services that you might be interested in. And again, once you're on the site, we do monthly, we highlight our agencies that are on the site who are looking for, if you have an event, say in the month of May, we try to highlight the agencies who are looking for on our social media, who are looking for volunteers. Every month we put out a list of our agencies who are looking for volunteers so that you can get that exposure. Okay.
Are you in the courthouse, Kay?
I am, yes, sir. I am on the 5th floor. Oops, wait a minute. What did I do?
You probably dropped it down. You probably just have to click the PowerPoint tab at the bottom.
Okay. Nope, that wasn't it.
Oh, okay, that screen background gives me anxiety.
There it is.
Gosh, okay.
I feel like
go.
that some days.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Ms. K, for your time this morning. We appreciate you all for joining us this morning
Yes,
as
indeed.
well for this workshop. We hope that you learned some information about VolunteerLEON as we receive requests quite often from organizations that are looking for volunteers or interns for their events or various projects and initiatives that they have going on. Ms. Peltwalker is a resource to UPHS and to our larger community at hand as well. So please reach out to her for anything dealing within the wheelhouse of volunteer services or volunteerism for your organizations when it comes to your own personal needs or professional needs within the organizations that you serve or maybe on the board of directors of, and et cetera. As always, we thank you all for joining us. We do have a few brief announcements to share with you all as this month is jam-packed with wonderful UPHS events for all of our members to attend. On April 16th, yes, April 16th, of 2024, we'll be hosting our agency bazaar at Florida State University's Alumni Center. We did send out a while back a registration form for you to register as organizations. We have about 40 plus organizations joining us for this particular event on April 13th. I want to say August so much, I don't know why. April 16th from 10 to 2 p.m. It's open to the student community, allowing them a chance to meet organizations, to look for internships and volunteer opportunities, as well as to learn more about them and the services that they offer, to engage them as potentially looking for services themselves at any point within their collegiate career while they're here in the Leon County area. As well as we have our ED Thought Leader Forum on April 23rd from 1 to 3 p.m. at CarePoint Health and Wellness Center. We have our middle management meetup here at UPHS on April 17th from 1 to 3 p.m. Our topic for that one is shifting through the first quarter blues and pushing through the second quarter and ensuring that we're not looking towards the summer and our vacations and things like that, but staying and keeping the goal at mind as these first 3 months have been a lot through 2024 thus far. And then with our presenters for the ED Thought Leader Forum on the 23rd, we'll be having Mr. Robert Blackledge, who is the executive director of the INI organization, or the Institute for Nonprofit Innovation and Leadership. Amber Artinen will be one of our presenters as well for the ED Thought Leader Forum as well, speaking on the wheelhouse of conflict resolution. And then we'll have Mrs. or Dr. Carla Sapp with SG Mental Health, speaking from self-care from a mental health lens. So please join for the ED Thought Leader Forum. And again, those events are specified. ED Thought Leader Forum are for our EDs and CEOs, while our middle management meetup is for our middle managers, our vice presidents, managers within the sector, and different things like that. And then we'll also have our last workshop within the month of April on the 25th, the do's and don'ts with their financial policies, which will be facilitated by, Ben Clark of James Moore CPAs. And don't forget, my last announcement, to register for the 2024 annual UPHS conference. It is May 7th and 8th. The 7th will be an evening event where we'll be able to celebrate 20 years of excellence with UPHS, as well as just giving our sector a chance to meet up and network with each other in a nightly event away from the office, away from your desk. And then the 8th will be our full day professional development workshops, and we'll be announcing our wonderful, wonderful conference speakers and presenters to you all soon, as well as showing you our keynote speaker who will be featured on the 8th during our lunch session, who is Corey Fuller, the Director of Player Personnel for the Florida State University football program. So thank you all for your time this morning. We are going to give you a lot of time back to yourselves, but we appreciate you all for joining us as always, and we'll see you at the next United Partners for Human Services event.